As you're analyzing your Who Am I essay, you want to start with the Big Five trait theory. This theory is an endpoint. It's who you are today from a personality standpoint. The other theories we covered explain much more of how your personality developed. So start with your Big Five in mind. So for example, if you were to start with openness, you may find yourself on the very open perspective. You find yourself on that end of the spectrum there. You start there and use these other theories to further examine where that openness came from. So, for example, Freud would want you to think about how psychosexual stages of development occurred. If the id was in control, I may be too open to experiences and not be willing to think rationally via the ego development or morally via the superego development. Those things allow me to make proper choices about my openness to new experiences rather than inappropriate ones. Skinner would further say that this openness to new experiences was due to reinforcement and modeling. My parents modeled this types of behavior, so did my peers, and when I did these things that they did, my parents rewarded me with praise, hey, good job, great things, and I made more friends. All this reinforcement reinforced this idea that I should be more open, which created this cycle of openness. Rogers believed that it was, again, early childhood relationships and proper development of those early childhood relationships that allowed for me to develop and to foster this openness to experience in a safe environment where I was unconditionally loved, where I received empathy, and where people were genuine with me. And when I had that happening, I was able to try new things, to open myself up to new things. And by continuing to have relationships like that, I'm continuing to be able to do so. Maslow, further another humanist, felt that I was constantly striving forward towards self-actualization, and depending on which stage I was at, so currently I feel like I'm at the esteem stage, by needing this esteem, I may seek out opportunities to explore new things, to have this openness to experience, in order to receive that boost of self-esteem, but also that recognition from others that comes from esteem from that other perspective. And that's important to me, which leads me to have that openness to new experiences. My public versus private self, so how I act towards others versus how I am kind of personally and who I am with people that I really trust and know, is further influenced by this openness to experiences and these personality developments from these other theorists as well. I may be open to new things, specifically when I'm with people who I'm my private self with, maybe a little more closed off and less open to new experiences in situations where I'm presenting my public self. So, for example, out with my friends versus at work. All of this effective development has allowed me to boost my self-efficacy, my self-confidence, and my self-esteem, particularly when it comes to trying new things. I feel confident in doing those things because I've had success and built my self-efficacy in trying these things in the past. Maybe that's due to reinforcement, maybe it's due to the positive environments I grew up in. Either way, I have that high self-esteem due to that self-confidence that's been developed via that self-efficacy. The key with this Who Am I essay is to start with the big five traits and then further analyze each of those traits based on the other theories we've covered, integrating or blending those theories into an in-depth understanding of how they apply to you as an individual. The key again is to mix those theories and see how each pull what's important and what's relevant to you from each of those theories. Not everything is, so pull the stuff that is most relevant to you.